situation, task, action, and result. That's the STAR method in a nutshell. But if you really want to ace your video interview, let's find out more about the STAR method and how that can help you stand apart from the crowd. Video interview providers such as HireVue or Sonru typically use behavioral questions to assess candidates. Behavioral questions follow a pretty well-known pattern, and the STAR method is perfect for answering them. Hi, my name is Patrick. I'm a former hiring manager at a Fortune 50 company, and I'm here to help you understand what the STAR method is and how you should use it to your advantage during your video interview and your regular interview. Going into any interview without a framework in mind is going to set you at a disadvantage versus the competition. Remember, it's not a matter of just doing well. It's a matter of doing better than everybody else. The STAR method is a great, simple way to make sure you keep your thoughts organized, you remember to bring up examples, and third and most important thing, you make the hiring manager's life easy. Hiring managers are looking for people that use the STAR method when answering questions. That makes the likeliness of them giving you a thumbs up increase dramatically. Just keep in mind that the STAR method isn't infallible, and I'll give you a great tip at the end of this video that will help you ace that interview. In the meantime, let me know in the comments what's been tripping you up on your video interviews. Now, each letter in the STAR method means something different. S, situation. T, task. A, action. And R, results. Let's look at those letters one by one and see how each of them help you build a better answer. S for situation is pretty self-explanatory. You're gonna tell the hiring manager what was facing you. What was the situation that you were in? This is the setup to your answer. Don't forget to talk about how serious or how urgent the situation was. Don't get too bogged down explaining the minor details of the situation. You want to get this idea across quickly and clearly. An example for this might be, sales started declining rapidly and unexpectedly. Or, we had a new teammate, but she was missing deadlines. Now let's look at T, task. This should also be kept short and sweet. Here, you'll describe what the assignment was. Maybe it was something that was set by a supervisor or manager, or it was a goal that you set yourself. Let's hear a few examples. My manager asked me to stop the sales decline immediately, or I decided to reach out to that coworker and help her. Now think about why we keep these two sections relatively short. That's because you don't have that much actionability here. For the situation and the task, usually this will be something that's given to you. It's not something that you worked on or you created. The sections we're talking about next, action and results, are the main part of your answer and should be where you spend most of the time talking, because that's what the hiring manager is interested in, what you did and what your results were. By the way, if you feel like you got some value from this video so far, please hit like and consider subscribing and commenting with any additional questions you might need help with. Now we're at the third stage of your answer, A for action. This is the part where you're going to describe what you did to remedy the situation that you described earlier and how you adapted the task that you were assigned initially to the actual reality of the situation you faced. Did you notice the nuance there? Just because you were assigned a task doesn't mean you had to follow those instructions down to a T. Hiring managers love people that when they receive a task, they understand what's going on and then potentially adapt things or suggest different things to better remedy the situation. There's another little bit of nuance there that you might have missed. And this is another pitfall that many people drop into. When you're talking about the actions you took, that's just it, the actions you took. The hiring manager does not care about what your supervisor did, your coworkers did, or your direct reports did. They want to know what you did. You're the one being interviewed here. Now, let's hear an example answer that carries on from that situation where sales were declining. I investigated the drop in sales and I found out that the competition dropped prices dramatically. My manager didn't want to drop prices, so what I did was develop a loyalty program to reward our best customers. Now, this is a tutorial video, so I have to keep things short. But notice how much more time I spend talking about my actions than I did with the situation and the task. The actions are what the hiring manager is really looking for. So spend some time talking about that, but don't go overboard. Try and keep things simple and concise if possible. Now we're at the final letter, R for results. This is also pretty self-explanatory. You Tell the hiring manager what the results of your actions were. If you remember hard data like percentages, great, use that. If you don't and your memory's kind of fuzzy, talk about ranges or approximate numbers. A common misconception that people have is that the results have to be outstanding. That is not the case. I've interviewed many strong candidates that when they talk about the results, they are an absolute disaster. However, what these candidates have, which is really great and many hiring managers look for, is their ability to learn. They'll talk about what they learned, they'll talk about what they would do differently, and that is great. Employers love people that are adaptive and forward-thinking. So bring that up in case you don't have the perfect example. Now for our example of the declining sales, let's listen to the last section of the response. The loyalty program we launched was able to stop the sales decline, but only for a few months. What I had to do was convince my manager that we needed a new product, and currently that product is under development. Just like with action, the results section can be a little bit longer because you're actually talking about two things: your results and the lessons learned. Now there's something else that you need for your interviews, and no video will be able to help you with, not even this one, and that's confidence. Fortunately for you, confidence comes with practice, and there's a great way for you to practice for your interview and use of the STAR method, and that's with Voomer. Go to tryvoomer.com where you can practice on hundreds of questions broken down by employer, and you'll get AI-powered feedback on your answers. That way you can quickly improve and get that job you want. Start with the free trial link that I've pinned in the comment below. Let me know in the comments if there's anything else you'd like me to help you with on your interview. If not, just use the STAR method, stay cool and confident, and you'll do fine. Best of luck.